Who should France pick against Wales in their second game of the Six Nations for 2026? Well, in this video, we're going to be going over who we think they might pick and who we think they should pick. And to be honest, it could be completely wrong, but I think they're going to go for a lot of changes, especially against a weaker Welsh team. And I think they're going to actually give a lot of guys some game time. Some guys that maybe haven't had too much game time, some guys that maybe haven't been starting that much recently. But let's get right into it. At number 1, I've gone for Rodrigue Netti. I think Rodrigue Netti is a very good player, but also I do think that a lot of the bench players from last week's game against Ireland will get an opportunity to start this week. And I think if France were to change their whole team, they'll still be favourites by quite far, and I still think they might just win this game by quite far as well. But I do think it's probably an unnecessary risk for them to play their best players this week, especially in the starting lineup. Look, I think the 23 from last week will stay the same with regards to the same player pool, but I think they'll just be shifted around a lot. But I'm really excited for what this team could potentially be. I mean, this whole team could be wrong, but this is just what I think they might choose and what I think they should choose, especially for a game like Wales. At number 2, I've gone for Piatto Malvaka. It will be so exciting to see this guy get 60 minutes. He's an awesome player. Right now, I probably prefer him as a bench role in this team, but I think this week, as I said, the whole front row from the bench last week, I think will start going into this week's game. At number 3, I've gone for Reggie Montan. I think he was awesome last week off the bench. I thought that whole front row was really good off the bench last week. They really kept the standard high for France, that the forwards that started set. So they're going to have a really tough task on their hands. I mean, this is going to be a Wales team that are going to somehow try get their first win in a while now, and they're going to try come back from last week's poor performance. So it could be an interesting one in Cardiff, but I still think France are the favourites by quite far. And I think this front row is going to get quite a lot of dominance at scrum time as well. And number 4, he was on the bench last week. I think he's going to start the huge guy himself, Emmanuel Miafu. This guy could get a really good 60 minutes under his belt and will be very important for the squad going forward. Now, the reason why I think a lot of these guys that were on the bench might start this week is because going forward, if they have that experience, that confidence, that game time, that trust in the system, more game time within the system, within other players as well and other combinations, then putting them off from the bench back onto the field at the end of a game, especially if it's a tight game, they'll know exactly what to do. They'll know exactly how it feels, and I think it'll be a really good experience for these guys. But that's why I don't think there'll be too many changes with regards to bringing in players that didn't play last week. I think it might be the same crop of players that played last week's game, just mixed up a bit in different positions. So number 4, I've gone for Emmanuel Miafu. At number 5, I've stuck with the man of the match, Mikel Gillard. This guy was absolutely awesome last week. He's still quite a young guy, and I think he needs more game time. So I think guys like that are still a little bit more inexperienced, that haven't had too much game time, will definitely be playing this week. So I think Mikel Gillard 100% will be playing, and I can't wait to see him play. At number 6, I've gone for Francois Cross. I think it's important for him to get more game time in the France jersey, and I think that whole loose trio, all of them, whether they're starting or on the bench, it's just going to be important for them to play together, get more game time. Whether it's going to be a blowout win, I don't know, but it's very important to get game time for them, especially going into the rest of the year where they have to tour to New Zealand, to Argentina, play against Argentina, play against South Africa, against those really tough teams, especially the likes of Scotland and England later on in this competition as well. And don't forget Italy, who just showed up last week and beat Scotland. So I think Francois Cross at number 6, I think he was good last week. He didn't have the best game in my opinion compared to what he can do, so I think he's going to try to bounce back from that a bit and be one of the more standout forwards. But he is a guy that really gets his head stuck in, and I mean, this guy has a massive engine on him, and he's the kind of guy that you don't see him too much, but he's also really doing a lot. So I think Francois Cross at number 6. Number 7, this might come as a surprise to some people. He played lock last week. I think they'll go for Charles Olivon at number 7. He's played number 7 many times before for France. He's captained the team before from that position. I think just to give other guys an opportunity and to keep experience in the team, I think Charles Olivon at number 7 will be a really good choice. I mean, Anthony Giroud was phenomenal last week, but I do think he'll move to the bench for this game and then just move right back next week when they play a more difficult team. So I think Charles Olivon at number 7. Number 8, I've kept Anthony Gelange because I think it's important for whoever's 9 to get more game time and more cohesion with whoever's starting at 8. And Anthony Gelange right now is the number 8 for France. So whoever is number 9, that's not Antoine Dupont, because I know they have a very good combination and connection because they've been playing together for years now. It's important that whoever's the other 9 also has that same type of feel, type of connection, type of comfortability playing together. So Anthony Gelange at number 8. At number 9, I've gone for a guy who's one of my favourite players. I think he definitely should be a no-brainer to start this week. Baptiste Seren. He had a really good cameo off the bench last week. He was sniped sniping a bit. He looked confident. He looks full of energy, and I love to see it because he is such a world-class player. And some of the comments said that apparently the coach Fabien Galtier doesn't like Baptiste Serene, so hopefully that's not the case anymore. Hopefully he's got trust in him and he can play him a bit more, because when he was playing back in the day before Dupont showed up, or around the same time Dupont showed up, he was one of the best guys in the world at his position, and I think he still is that good. So at number 9, I've gone for Baptiste Serene. Number 10, I've gone for Mathieu Jalibert again. I think that also for number 10 as well as number 8, it's important to build that connection with whoever's the other number 9. Normally in a game, the number 8 or the number 10 plays 80 minutes, and they're going to be playing with different positions. They're going to be playing with different number 9s, different centers who come on, and I think it's really important to get that cohesion and that understanding together of how to play. Whether it's going to be a blowout game against Wales, it doesn't matter. Just them getting game time together, I think, is very important. So at number 9, Baptiste Serene alongside Mathieu Jalibert at number 10. Number 11, I've gone for Louis Biel-Barré again. I don't think too much will change in the backline. I think more on the bench there might be a few changes, but Louis Biel-Barré, he's a phenomenal player, and I think he's going to maybe even score a hat-trick this weekend if put in the right areas of the field, if given the right opportunities. But I think this week could be bad for Wales, and I think it's going to be because of this backline. I mean, if you have a guy like Baptiste Serene, Mathieu Jalibert and Louis Biel-Barré, it's going to be a problem, and I think he'll be at number 11 again. He's still quite a young player. He's very experienced at this level, but I think they're going to give him an opportunity to really just let it go, open play. It's going to be awesome to watch him go. At number 12 and number 13, I've stuck with the same centre. So at number 12, I've gone for Yoram Mofana. He had a really solid game last week. He's had a bit of an underrated performance, in my opinion. And then a Nicolas Depotet at number 13. He really surprised me. I wasn't too familiar with this game because I'm more of a Southern Hemisphere fan myself. I mean, as a South African, I haven't really been watching the top 14 that much. I've been trying to, but this guy really impressed me. And I think getting those two to just get more game time together, build that combination, especially alongside Mathieu Jalibert, it's going to be very important going forward. So they'll take any opportunity they can. The reason why I didn't think they'll go with Antoine Dupont this week is because he's so familiar with the system. They all know what they can get from him. But I think it's important this week to really get some more game time to some of the other guys that might be important going forward. So yeah, Yoram Mofana and Nicolas Depotet, I think, will be the centres this week. Number 14, I've gone for Theo Atisogbe again. He had a really solid game last week. He was good under the high ball. And I mean, at international level, you're not going to have any time to have fun. You're not going to have time, especially under the high ball. The chase lines that they do here, the pressure that they apply at international level, it's just a different beast. And I think it's going to be good for him to just get another opportunity, maybe get the ball in some more open space, get more opportunities than he had last week, because they really closed down that side of the wing last week. That left side of the field, right side for France, was never getting the ball. So he got a nice touch at the end of the game, a good try. So that was really good for his confidence. But I think a game like this could be perfect for his confidence and a perfect opportunity for him to show really what he can do, especially with a backline like this. Number 15, I've stuck with Thomas Ramos. I think it's important as well that the whole back three gets aligned, gets more game time together, and that's also a combination on the rugby field. As much as 9, 10, 12, 13 is a combination, 11, 14, and 15 is a combination by itself. The back three is key. Communication is so key for defense, high ball, aerial battle, all of that. Kicking game, it's very important. So I think getting them more game time together is going to be very important going forward. So even if it might be a whitewash, I think there's some valuable lessons and learnings a lot of players and combinations can take from this France team. Now at number 16, I've gone for Julien Marchand. As I said, I don't think the whole 23 is going to change. I just think the positions that they are playing and the numbers that they're playing will change. I think it's important to still get the guys game time since they've only had one game together against a really good game against Ireland. I don't see them not playing guys at all. So I think Julien Marchand, number 16. Number 17, Jean-Baptiste Gros. He was phenomenal last week. A very good scrummager and really good around the park as well. His ball play around the park is quite underrated in my opinion. Number 18, Dorian Aldegheri. I've kept the whole front row that started last week and put them on the bench. Not because they played bad. They played phenomenally. I just want to keep them together. I think that's what they might do if they were to change things. Look, the team could be the exact same as last week. This is what I think they would do and what I think they should do to try get some more guys, some game time, some new combinations, some experience together. So I think keeping those front rows together will be important. I think keeping combinations together, whether it's starting on the bench, is valuable and it's really key going forward. Number 19, Hugo Aradel. He stays on the bench. I thought he was good last week, and I think he just needs to get more comfortable in his role because he's going to have a lot of game time going forward. Number 20, Anthony Jagu. As I said, he was really good. He just gets his job done. He's a silent assassin, this guy. He makes massive tackles. He's always putting in work rate. Good carries, very good tackles, tackle dominance. He's just one of those guys you really want in your team. And I think if he is in your team, you notice him a bit more than if he's not. Because if I'm looking from the outside, you don't notice him too much. But if you go watch this guy in the game, he operates at a very high level. Number 21, Lenny Nushi. I think he'll be trying to get comfortable with his role on the bench. It's getting him more game time will also be very important in this team. Now at number 22, an unfamiliar jersey for him. I've gone for Antoine Dupont. I just think giving Baptiste Serene a bit of game time might really benefit him. I mean, if it doesn't work out, then you can bring on Dupont early, but I'm pretty confident it will work out. And maybe then you can bring a guy like Dupont on at number 10 or a different position late in the game. He's done it before at club level. Maybe they can try things out like that, especially if there's a big lead. You don't even have to play him. But I think he's the one guy that doesn't need more game time right now. He's fine. He's comfortable in the system. And I think it's more important to get Baptiste Serene more game time, especially with injuries to Maxime Lecu, Nolan Lagarek, guys like that have been in the system for a while. Baptiste Serene's been out of the system for a long time now. Getting him back in, confident, comfortable, some more game time is going to be very important. Number 23, Calvin Gorget. I hope that's how I say it. He was really impressive off the bench last week. The reason I didn't want to start him this week in my theoretical predicted lineup is that I just think that Yoram Mofana and Nicolas Deportes could use a bit more game time together at this level. They were really good, and I just think any game time these combinations can get together will be very valuable. So that's what I think is going to be the team, guys. It could be completely wrong. As you can see, it's a lot different than the team that played against Ireland, but it's also the same group of players. So hopefully it makes sense to some of you. If you do agree, let me know in the comments down below. If you don't agree, let me know as well. Let's talk about it. I've been enjoying all the conversations, and thank you to all the France fans. You guys have been absolutely awesome. If you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to subscribe to help the channel grow. We're nearly at 1,000. It's been awesome seeing the channel grow so quick. But yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.